All right, folks, let's come back here now to a different demonstration. Now, what I want to do is I want to reboot the host where all these VMs live. So there's a downside on this because right now I only have one host. Hopefully, in the future, or in the very near future, I'm gonna get another host. And that that once I have my second host, I'll do a failover clustering. So when I need to do a reboot, any maintenance on one host, I can do. It's called drain rows, where my VMs kind of share resources and they jump to another host and they don't go down. In other words, they keep operating, and the whole point is so you don't have any down time on your VMs that are live, right? And that you have your environment on. Of course, this is my home lab, but I'm emulating the real life. So once I have my second host and the third host, I'm gonna have them all clustered, so I can take advantage of all the services that comes with. So right now, just for the sake of this video, there's one host. I have a core Hyper-V server 2019 core, and I'm running Hyper-V Manager, and I installed all these VMs. Now I'm going to look at these VMs on the Microsoft Admin Center here. So I jumped to Microsoft Admin Center because I also have, this is where I manage my host because it's a core server. I can't log into it. It's all command line. So whoever, this is my setup, and I know a lot of people have different setups, but this is where I manage my VMs here, and I do the same thing at work. So all my VMs are running, and I'm gonna have to just shut one by one. That's the only downside because I need to reboot that host. So let's start. I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna do it on this part. I'm not gonna do it on. I'm not gonna do it on Hyper-V Manager. I like to stay clean with Windows Admin Center here. It's a lot easier. And then you got to make sure you shut down. Don't turn off. Don't restart. Shut down. This is a graceful way to not corrupt your VMs. Of course, you got to make sure that there's nothing running, right? If you have any services, any backups, anything running, of course you have to pause them or do any of that. So you got to create a change depending on where you're at, because it's going to bring everything down. So that's why the best practice is to have two hosts. But there's some companies or some places, small businesses, they can't afford it. Or if you're on a lab like me. But right now I already shut one down, so I'm just going to go down the list one by one. Once these come, and if it's taking a little bit longer, I can jump to manager. You see, this was shut down already. This is the first one I did. This is probably an easier way to shut down. I don't know. I'm gonna try both. I want to do one by one. You don't want to do multiple because that can crash your system as well. You gotta be gentle because you don't want no data loss, nothing down. So once everything is off, I'm gonna log into the core, and then I'll do a reboot. In the meantime, that this is shutting down, because I'm like, for the sake of time, I'm gonna try to pause video here and there. But this is what I want to do. A lot of people always worry about it turning off a host where a lot of VMs live, and you have to be super careful because it's part of our work, right? Like, here you go. So very important, make sure VMs handle live migrations off, shut down, gracefully shut down, and then make sure backups. Option 1, this is what we're going to do right here. And then just hit option 13. So we're going to log into the SConfig, log into the host, 13. I can do it through PowerShell, but this is optional if you want to do PowerShell. It's as easy as to, but I think PowerShell, once you're on SConfig, it's a little bit, so it's the next step. And here's the don't do this for sure. You don't need to go to ILO to do this. Don't reboot without checking the VM state. Kill power during updates. So make sure all this is taken care of before you do any silly stuff, because this is serious business. Try to do it overnight. Try to do it on the weekends if possible. So, okay, let's, for the sake of time, I am going to pause it because this is going to take a little bit longer than I expected. So I'll see you guys once I shut everything down. All right, so I got all of them off. Now I'm just doing it. Took me like 7 minutes. So I have one more, but this one I'm going to shut it off on Windows Admin Center. And then so you guys can see it goes back and forth. It's still running. Client 2. I love this system here. Shutdown. And then it says a command. And then successfully shut down. Let's go back and hide. Yep, they're all off. All off, okay. So we confirm that our VMs are off. I like to just double check my work, even if it takes me a little longer. So, okay, I know they're tough. I'm not gonna wait for this. Let's go into the core. So we have, oh, here it goes. They're all stopped. Okay, let's go into our core. So our core is on the remote areas on my garage. Okay. And of course, there's no operating system. There's just base core version. So this is my NIC right here, and these are my team NICs, NIC teaming. All these are joined. So, okay, so this is where we can just hit 3. Actually, no, not 3. Restart server 12. Or we can go into the command line. Let me look at the document. So we can do 13. Yeah. Shut down server. Restart server with the Y. Okay, clean, support, safe method, handle services correctly. So 13, you see how I have to look at my notes because I was going to do 12. So, or we could go into the command line. Once you hit 13, you're down. But I think I just don't want to make sure, I don't want to shut down. I want to make sure, because if I'm remote 100%, I'm not, say this host is on a remote location. I have to have boots in there, right? I have to have somebody there. I can't just shut it down and then drive over there. No way. Or if it's in the data center. So this is planning. So planning is always the key. So, but I'm gonna do 13. I'm trying to read my own notes. But I can also do reboot remotely from another server admin. This command, restart computer, blah blah blah, force. So let's do the command line. 14. So we're in command line. Let's go to PowerShell. Okay. So what was that command? So this is only 2 steps. You see how it took, there's a few more steps. Restart computer, computer name. Now, I have to make sure I know my computer name now. I think it's probably computer name and then Hyper-V force. There you go. It rebooted. And let's ping it real quick. .192.168.1.29. Okay. It's not reachable anymore. I lost connection right here too because it's not reachable. The server rebooted. So I'm going to lose connection to everything. This is my Hyper-V right here. My manager. Probably going to lose connection. But if everything goes out right, everything should reconnect. Because That's what we want. Now, if it's shut down, then I have to go downstairs and shut it back on. So I'm gonna pause it again. We'll give it like 3 minutes. No, now it's timed out. So if it doesn't come back up, then, which I know, I think I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna do a reboot. But this is the maintenance you have to do. Say you need to upgrade the memory on the server, or you need to, if you do a hot swappable for a drive, you don't need to shut it down. But for memory, you do. Say you want to max your memory out, or you want to, I don't know, you want to replace something in the board or something that went wrong. This is exactly the process what you got to do. So if it was just a reboot for updates, and we would just restart it, but it's a maintenance call. Let me pause it, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, it's back up. So I didn't need to go down because it fired back up. So that command is right. So okay, so now it's back up. Okay, so let's see if Windows. Let's connect back into. Let's boot up our firewall or one of our DCs and clients. The firewall is the most important one. That way I can make sure everything is working back. Okay. So we got 2 more minutes. Virtual machines. It's a little slower with the Windows Admin Center, but you'll get there. And we can do it from here. So firewall, start. DC1, start, and DC2. So now let's see here. How come it's not showing here? There's a little delay, but it should be okay. And this is exactly what we have to do. Hopefully this works for you guys. And have a great day. All right, folks.